Howdy y'all. Welcome to another edition of Getting Outdoors. Let's talk a little bit about Ruth Stout gardening. First of all, I am in North Texas and it's hot. It is getting up into triple digits, heat index, probably, I think it was 105, 106 today. So reason I wanted to kind of do this video was you have to adapt to what a lot of the gardening is, and you've kind of heard the deep mulch gardening, whether that's Ruth Stout, whether that's Back to Eden. But one thing I think is terribly missed is I've seen a lot of videos. A lot of people say, "Well, I've gone away from it. It didn't work for me. It's terrible." I think a lot of it is expectations. First of all, so as you can see behind me, I have done the Ruth Stout garden method. It's I got a bale of straw that's right there. That whenever weeds pop up, I just either pluck them out or put new straw down for them. But the thing is that Ruth Stout was in the Chicago, Illinois, region, and so in her book and videos and stuff talked about how she didn't have to water. Well, I'm not sure if Miss Ruth had 100-degree days consecutively without any other rain, moisture. I think even if it rained maybe once, twice a month, the moisture would hold in this deep mulch. But as hot as this gets, especially out here, I've got a raised bed. So let's see what kind of moisture I've got my sprinklers, and you see there is one there. I got 6 of them in here. You can see one right over there, and they will so let's just see what we got here. So you can see, so it's still, as I water, look at that. Take care of that guy a little bit later. But as we can see, it's still nice and wet. Things are, it's decomposing, down in there. It's really holding the moisture, but again, this, if I wasn't watering it a couple times a week, and when I talk about watering, I've got, I think it's set for like 4 minutes only on like Mondays and Thursdays. So it's not like it's getting a lot of a deluge of water. We haven't had rain, any measurable rain, for probably over a month now. And so as I said in our past videos, my outside garden that's out there, see with the corn, I'm watering that by hand. Well, it's got a little sprinkler system, but I have to turn it on and off, and I'm doing that for about 10 minutes once a week, because I want to see kind of what that deep mulch is doing. But so water is one thing, and how much watering you have to do to keep your plants alive in whatever heat that you have is what you're going to have to experiment with. The other thing is weeds. A lot of people I've seen that said, well, I'm no longer going to do that method. It wasn't weed free. I don't think anywhere Ruth Stout or Back to Eden said it was going to be weed free. It is reducing down the amount of weeding that you have to do, which I will tell you, if you go in and you saw how much I had there, you can see, that is a good, probably 4 or 5, maybe 6 inches, probably more like 4 or 5 inches of mulch that's there. That is keeping a lot of these weeds down. But so let's look right over here is an old strawberry plant, And in that strawberry plant is, oh look, a weed. Now the good thing about it is how easy that comes up right there from the roots, and I can just go and lay it right back down and it will die and it'll mulch just like the hay, decomposing. So there's the other one. It easily pulls out, but that's because right at the base of the strawberry plant is dirt and exposed dirt. So you can't get, I try to put the straw up underneath it, but for the things like my zucchini plants and squash plants, it's kind of pushed some of the straw away, and that has let the bare ground there and weeds pop up. But the thing is, I know that I'm still going to have to weed. If you look in the documentary for Ruth Stout or in her garden book, she talks about how she was out in the garden every day. And I guarantee part of that, and she talks about weeding, was just she would just get a handful of hay and go and throw it right down on top of whatever grass or weed was growing. So just that alone was saying that she had weeds. She still, as much as mulch she had, there was still some weeds, something that was still growing inside of there. Now, whether it was growing inside that mulch, that was maybe a seed weed or something like that, or it was actually right down to bare ground, she still had a little bit of work to do, but it lessened the work. So expectations is what this is all about. How much watering you're going to be able to not do, and how much weeding you're not going to be able to do. If you think that you're going to just be able to throw down, a bunch of hay or a bunch of straw and not water at all and have absolutely no weeds, sorry, I don't know of any method out there that's going to have that. What you're just trying to do is make gardening a little bit easier, and that's what I've done. I'm able to garden for my family and have nice vegetables, for dinner, for lunches, snacks for them that they really enjoy, and I don't have to put in the hours of work, because when it is June and July and August, you don't want to be out here in the heat and trying to weed everything. So just if you get into the Ruth Stout or the Back to Eden method, just make sure that you have those expectations. And I think it was in Ruth Stout's books, do it a minimum of 3 years, or 3 consecutive seasons, until you say, oh, that's not going to work, or it's not for me. Some people may at the very first time not. I've been very pleased so far. Has it been perfect? No, but that's just part of it. If I hadn't done this, it probably would have been certainly a lot worse. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, little knowledge there that I could bring you and share. Please subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Keep getting outdoors.